How great is this? You just look out at these players, the excitement, the anticipation. They've been in training camp for a month, and for Missouri State, they get to come to the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. You got to make sure it doesn't swallow you, because this place is massive. It has done that to many opponents who have entered the walls of the stadium.
Probably felt good for this Missouri State team to get booed as they came out. The kick is away, and that is muffed into the end zone. And this is now Neal for a touchback, 25-yard line for Missouri State's offense. Jacob Clark, the quarterback, a man who's spent time at the FBS level, started his career at Minnesota's battled injury, 7th year, had a great year last year, and is poised for another.
Well, he's been through so much. You referenced 7th year. He didn't start until his 5th year in major college football. He had a chance to enter the portal, said, no, I want to come back. I believe in Coach Beard. I love this system. I want to be part of the change within this program.
Steps up and through pressure, throws incomplete to Dash Luke. There was some pressure all around him. Looks like he felt like there was some miscommunication. You take a look at the offensive starters for Missouri State. Shamari Robinson, that's the man who is their leading returning receiver, and Shamari Lawrence, the running back, the transfer from FIU. Cash Hudson is the center and the captain leading this offensive line. And this is complete. Pardon me, that is Ronell Johnson getting out near a first down, and it does look like he has it. And Missouri State moves the chains.
That's a nice job from Jacob Clark. There's going to be pressure from both edges. Anthony Lucas to his right. He can feel it on the right side of the screen. Here comes pressure. Sits in the pocket. 1, 2, 3. Ball out. Nice job by the veteran. Putting the ball in the perfect spot, moving the sticks.
One of the top FCS quarterbacks in the nation last year. All Missouri Valley Conference in their last year as an FCS school. Here's the first carry for Shamari Lawrence, and that's going nowhere. Take a look at this USC defense up front. Yeah, missing some key pieces, but bulked up on the defensive line, led by Cameron Fountain. Devin Tompkins, pulse of the team. That's what the coaches told us about Tompkins. Great to have one of the most unique players in the country. Eric Gentry back from injury last year, and their stud on the back end is the safety Kamari Ramsey.
And Kamari Ramsey is going to be playing a little linebacker type role today. That nickel defender due to injury. He's playing near the box, near the line of scrimmage at the top of the screen.
Clark gets it out quick, and that is held on to by Jamarie Robinson. It'll bring up a third down and manageable after the stop from DJ Harvey.
A big part of Dan Lynn's defense is what he coins obnoxious communication. You see Kamari Ramsey, as there's so many changes happening at the line of scrimmage with Jacob Clark, and Clark has the keys to this offense. He'll go to the line of scrimmage with 2 plays right here. You see him audibling a little right now, making sure they're in the best spot. Check to the sideline. This is how it's going to be. Get to the line of scrimmage. The no huddle outfit guy, which gives him more time at the line of scrimmage.
Play clock is low. And they're going to take a timeout here before this third down on their first possession.
First timeout of the half, Missouri State.
So Missouri State obviously feels like early. There's a big third down coming up. We'll step aside. First game day here in LA, or big day in LA. College football, UCLA later tonight, and a big one. And the Trojans, their conference opener just 2 weeks away when they go to Purdue. After a timeout, third down, where USC made such a huge leap last year in Dan Lynn's first season. Missouri State took the timeout after they couldn't get the play change before the play clock expired. And Yogi Jacob Clark back to work. Lawrence, first down, and he breaks down the sideline, a huge gain. And for Missouri State, a big punch landed early. 23 yards on the run.
How about the path of Lawrence? This is really impressive, guy. His patience at a running back. You're going to see pressure coming here from USC, and all of a sudden he just waits, and watch him string it out. Then boom, he gets north and south. Really nice job. Kick out block, wide outs, tight ends, offensive linemen. A lot of movement there, creating some confusion on that USC defense.
That's big to get a big block from Hayden Hagler. They are basically without experience at the tight end position. The starting tight end, Gary Clinton, hurt in training camp. As you see the tight end Hagler go in motion, and now they're going to run behind the fullback with Lawrence, and he gets twisted down by Eric Gentry.
So much of the motion that we've seen, or the movement on that explosive run, guy, is try to slow down these edges. Anthony Lucas, Cameron Fountain, the first few snaps, they are humming off the edge. It's a really nice early adjustment from Nick Petrino, the offensive coordinator at Missouri State. They know they don't have the speed or explosiveness that the Trojans have, so they got to try to find a way to slow that down. They did it with motion and movement.
7th play of this opening drive for Missouri State. Clark with the pocket collapsing around him. A dangerous throw, batted incomplete by Christian Pierce. Today's Impact Player is sponsored by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense, Yogi.
Well, I think when you look at Missouri State on offense, Dash Luke, he's going to be the guy in the slot, and at times Eric Gentry will be lined up in the slot. He'll play linebacker. He'll also play on nickel kind of slot defender. When the Trojans have the rock, Makai Lemon, Brett talked about him in the open, and J.J. O'Neal will tell his story. The former walk-on, now starting and captain for his defense.
3rd and long out of the pistol. Get it out to the running back. Good catch. Lawrence is able to pick up a couple of yards. That ball nearly sailed over his fingertips. Desmond Stevens on the stop, 5 yards on the pickup.
And how about this? We knew it was going to be an aggressive Missouri State, but not a reckless Missouri State. This was going to be a lot of 4-down territory type games, meaning on 3rd down, you got 2 to make it. Well, right here on a 4th down and 4 or 4th and 3, they're saying, no, give me the points. Take the points. I like that being on the road. And we've seen throughout today some questionable decisions around taking points, going for it. They're trying to get 3 here.
Well within the range of Yusuf Obeid, who was an FCS freshman All-American. They're subbing very late, and now USC is going to sub.
Oh, this is fascinating here, right? And here they come. It's just got to be an athletic jog. There's number 9, Keyshawn Silver.
And now the play clock's at 5. Stuart McDonald to hold it. Obeid, even with a lot of on and off traffic, is able to hit the field goal. So Missouri State with a good drive to start. Ryan Beard and his group, they won the toss, they took the football, and they walk away with points. Now we get our first look at Jaden Mayava coming up next. Right now, the first 1,000 fans will get $20 off a Big Ten Plus annual pass and get access to over 2,700 more events across the Big Ten this season. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to BigTenPlus.com and make sure you enter 20OFF when selecting annual pass at checkout to take advantage of this offer.
Look at this.
You can see Yogi's boat tied to the marina just off in the distance, 10 miles away from our nearest marina. Downtown LA in the background. And Makai Lemon is going to return it. Gets a couple of good blocks out in front and gets out to about the 24.5-yard line. So he started 4 games at the end of the year and won 3 of them. And now for the first time, he walks out on this field as USC's starter on the first Saturday of the year.
Look, there's one thing to be named the starter towards the end of a season, but here in LA at USC, you got a whole offseason of hype, of expectations. It's a challenge to navigate that. Jaden Mayava hasn't flinched. In fact, he's attacked it. You talk to his teammates, they rave about his leadership, his work ethic, how he just pours into them. Expect him to take a jump from a discernment standpoint from a year ago to now as one of the captains.
USC first snap of the day with 2 tight ends. Mayava avoids the first pressure and the second. and then makes something out of nothing to Makai Lemon.
I mean,
that was a pretty 5 yards.
Yeah, that's a pretty impressive play. Watch him stay in the pocket. This is where he's grown from last year. There's going to be pressure from both edges, from the interior. He's going to sit, wait, and then, okay, I got to get out, retreat a little bit, and then the athleticism against Townley Jr. 17, by the way, is a transfer from Penn State. A little stiff arm, eyes downfield, finds Makai Lemon.
An injured Missouri State player back by the line of scrimmage. And so we'll step aside here in LA. There's the injured player, Gilles Chio, being helped off for Missouri State during the break. And so he'll head into the tent. And we take a look at the USC offensive starters. Wayman Jordan and Nick Hines, the newcomers with Lane Lemon and McCree. Also saw Walker Lyons, the tight end, out there. Killian O'Connor, the former walk-on, is the starting center for USC. After the first SC play, picked up 5. Maiava on the move, and he throws complete to Jacoby Lane. And Lane dancing to make another 4 yards after he already picks up the first down. Pickup of 16 in total.
This is such a challenging play to stop. Watch Killian O'Connor, the center that you reference on this play. He's going to pull that way, guy. The whole defense is going to flow with him. And out the back door comes Jaden Maiava. I mean, that is such a challenging thing for your eyes if you're a defender for Missouri State.
Maiava gets it out quick to Lemon. Lane blocking in front, and Lemon. First man, second man, third man, finally bring him down. And it's second down and 5. Here's the defensive starters for Missouri State, or as they love to be called. You see it on the jersey. Mo State. DJ Westlock, the transfer from Missouri, then Oregon State. They've got some good recruiting lineage on this team. And then J.J. O'Neal is their captain in the secondary. Little flip to Makai Lemon. Block out front from his running back, Wayman Jordan, and another USC first down, pickup at 12.
I mean, Lincoln Riley, the offense can be so challenging.
Number 14, the defense, helmet came off during play, must be out for 1 minute.
You've seen the center pull one way, they go the other. You've seen the guarded tackle pull one way, then they go to their right. Here, it's a little misdirection on the end around to Lemon. I mean, it just challenges you. If you miss a gap, it can be an explosive play.
To Nook Hines, the freshman in the game at the top of the screen for the first time on this opening Trojan drive. Maiava, block out front from Lake McCree. Maiava, a little high step, a little stiff arm, and he picks up 7 yards. And let's go down to Rhett.
Guys, noticing the use of 2 tight ends here, Yogi, 12 personnel, just less than 20% of the time last year for SC. I think we might be seeing that a little bit more this year. We've seen it on 3 plays already to start this drive, posing some matchup problems for the defense. Can also help in the run game, too, when they get rolling with that.
Yeah, and here they are in empty with McCree in the slot at the bottom of the screen.
Wayman Jordan's first carry as a Trojan is a beauty. Jordan cuts it back and gets all the way down inside the 10.
To Rhett's point, they have multiple tight ends. This time they go with 1 tight end. They spread you out. And Wayman Jordan makes you pay. And SC after an explosive run, they love to piggyback that with another run.
Jordan again, feeling his way, and he slips in. Touchdown, Southern California. Throw and throw and throw and throw, and then give it to the #1 junior college running back in America here in 2025, and he makes an immediate impact. Kicker today is Ryan Sayeri, the LA native. making his debut out of the hold of the new Trojan punter, Sam Johnson. And it's perfect.
The lineage at USC at running back is something that Wayman Jordan knows a lot about. He was big time last year at the JC ranks. He knows he's got big shoes to fill with Woody Marks. But I'll tell you what, it's a pretty good start. Keep an eye on your tight end, Lake McCree. They spread out the defense of Missouri State. They pull Alani Noah. Wayman says, I'm going to go left, one cut, and away you go. Barely touched on his way to the 5-yard line. They piggyback it, they pull left tackle, left guard.
Number 0,
Tobias
now number
Wayman
92
for his first
for Missouri State.
touchdown. I got a feeling of many as a USC Trojan.
You know, it was so great talking to Lincoln Riley at the team facility on Friday. He said, what are you looking forward to? He said, I'm just looking forward to watching Wayman Jordan play live. The first time I saw him in practice, I knew we might have something special, but you never know until the game. You think he knows now?
I think he's got an idea. Look, there's certain guys you can go out on the practice field and it takes just a handful of plays and you're like, yep, that's different, that's special. And I'll tell you what, the Trojans
Number
and
19
Lincoln Riley,
for Missouri State is now playing as 93.
while they threw the ball the majority of that drive, they've got the ability to run or pass. As they're pulling all those defenders, they're setting up the counter run game. The movement on the offensive line to be a back behind that group is going to be a treat this fall.
Jamarie Robinson back deep again. And Sayeri, who just debuted with the point after, kicks it away, and another touchback. So Missouri State took the ball first, got the 3. SC gets it back, a very efficient 75-yard drive that is capped by the touchdown run.
Keep an eye on this. There's Alani Noah. He's going to pull. Wayman Jordan's going to have to make an adjustment based on what Missouri State does. They rush up the field. He goes wide, and then boom, he gets north and south. And I don't think there's a hand on him until he's tackled. The elusiveness, the physicality, the intent on running downhill is worth the celebration. How about the first guy celebrate with him? How about the first guy? That's your quarterback, and the sideline loves it. And this team has referenced how tight they are on their first drive. It's pretty tight.
Jacob Clark, 3 of 5 on the opening drive, setting up a trick play. Clark's going to throw it back to Dash Luke, and it's going to lose 5 yards.
Now, this is fun. You knew there was going to be some trickeration early on in this ball game. A lot of action. Ultimately, they're going to try to throw back here as the play begins. Once, twice, and then he's just going to turn right here, try to get picked up. USC just stays home, so disciplined by that back end. Making a play. Impressive there for the Trojans.
Probably won't be the last thing we see cooked up from offensive coordinator Nick Petrino today. And there's a strong run by Shamari Lawrence to get that yardage back in a little more.
They have an acronym at Missouri State called FTS, Feed the Studs. It's actually what we used to have when I was coaching here at SC way back in the day. It was like, get Reggie the ball, get Dwayne Jarrett the ball. They want to make sure Shamari Lawrence gets the rock as well. And here on a 3rd down, keep an eye on Jamarie Robinson, number 0.
Plenty of time here for Clark. USC brings pressure up the gut. Clark gets it out, and it falls incomplete. 2 defenders, Anthony Lucas and Eric Gentry, had clear shots, and now Clark is slow to rise.
I'll tell you what, you want to audible the line of scrimmage. That's part of Clark's game, but also is pressure coming from the edges and up the middle. That is Fountain, Gentry, and as you said, Lucas. They audibled, so did USC. It looked like it was 3 down linemen, then all of a sudden it was 5. Time was ticking. They had to get the snap off, and Clark got hit pretty hard.
Anthony Fred Urique is the punter, and everyone's going to clear out. A flag comes in. The ball's going to come settled at the 35, but we'll check on this penalty. 37-yard punt. First time we'll hear from our referee Francisco Villar today. It was Mekhi Lemon back deep who waved everybody away.
During the kick, holding. Number 19 on the receiving team. 10-yard penalty will be 1st and 10 for USC. Timeout on the field.
Jaden Mayava coming back out after a touchdown on the opening drive, looking for more.
Correction. The penalty was on number 9. Number 9.
Football on the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Graduate by Hilton. Spirited stays in your favorite college towns. USC's offense back out for its second possession after forcing the first punt of the day from Missouri State. Missouri State debuting as an FBS program here today, a member of Conference USA. Eli Sanders makes his first appearance of the day. 2 running backs in the game on either side of the quarterback, Jaden Mayava. It's going to be Wayman Jordan, who scored a touchdown on the opening drive, picking up 3, and now time for a studio update in Chicago. Dave Revson. Dave?
Hey, Guy. Hey, Yogi. Michigan high on its running back duo, as you guys know. Justice Haynes, Jordan Marshall. This is Haynes here, the Bama transfer, going 56 yards for the touchdown. Has 2 already in the evening. It's 14-zip.
All right, Dave, thank you. Meanwhile, here, it's second down for Mayava. Long throw, sideline, and Jacoby Lane's going to want that one back. Good coverage there from the #1 corner for this Bears team, Thomas Anderson.
Well, it's man-to-man coverage, and you want to come flat. Lane does that. His eyes go all the way to it. He's got 5X gloves. He doesn't drop many of those. Anderson plays through the hands, and Mayava says, oh, we could have had one. But I'd imagine in the huddle right now, he's saying, I'm coming right back to you, number 8.
First incompletion for USC today, now 3rd and 7. Mekhi Lemon, he's been a machine so far. Bounces off of 2 defenders and a pickup of 17 yards.
Just try playing quarterback here right now and be Jaden Mayava. There's so much movement happening right at the beginning of the snap. You're going to see so much movement from this defensive line. They're going to go from right to left. He's going to sit in the pocket, not worry about anything happening inside, anything in front of his face. It can flash up. He stands 6'4". Beautiful execution there for him.
Back to 2 tight ends for the Trojans. This is Eli Sanders, and he's going to be very near. Might have another first down, depending on the spot. Just shy by a half yard.
Here's that 2 tight end personnel grouping again that reference at the bottom of the screen.
Mike McCree, 87. Walker Lyons, the man behind him, 85. And movement. And flats.
And that was going to be an explosive play for a touchdown. Both tight ends. One was going to run a seam route. That was going to be McCree. And Lyons, I think, was going to be wide open down the sideline, and Mayava knew it.
Offside. Number 90 of the defense entered the neutral zone, causing a reaction. 5-yard penalty results in the first down.
Sometimes you want to get that free play, but because there was contact, they blow it dead. So often you try to get it with that clap and take a shot no matter what. And he knew it. I said, oh, too much contact up front. He was going to throw a touchdown. And here's this formation with a tight end like a fullback. They used this against A&M last year.
Sanders cuts it up the middle and grinds his way for 4 yards. Eli Sanders, talking about Wayman Jordan, the transfer from junior college. Sanders last year at New Mexico, 3 years thereafter, 1 at Iowa State. You see what he did, almost 7.5 yards a carry.
We had a chance to talk to him after practice earlier this week, and he said, you know, this is my dream school. that always wanted to play here out of the San Diego area in Southern California. He said, I bet on myself, decided to come here, and he's had a very productive camp.
Mayava lofts it. Beautiful touch. Can Lemon get there? No. Oh, and another one Mayava wants back.
Sometimes early in the season, especially game one, and when you're calling one of those explosive plays for the first time, at quarterback you get a little too excited, a little too much juice on this ball, needed a little bit more air on it, and he knew it. There's Lemon on the toes of the safety, runs right past him. Missouri State gets lucky there with the overthrow.
And now Ryan Beard's going to take a timeout on defense. Second timeout taken from Missouri State.
Second timeout of the half. Missouri State. 30 seconds in duration.
Mayava was backpedaling after he let it go like a three-point shooter. Ready to run back to the other end. Well, I know, Yogi, you are so high, not just on Makai Lemon, Jacoby Lane individually, but the combination of the two after what they did last season.
Yeah, these guys came in together. They said when they signed at SC, they wanted to change the culture. SC's always had productive wide receivers forever, but they wanted to get it back to what it was like back in the day. These two remind me of Dwayne Jarrett, Steve Smith from the early 2000s. Makai Lemon being that explosive player, the flanker. You can put him in motion. He can play in the slot. He can play all over the field. He can really take the top off of defense. And Jacoby Lane, we hung out with him again post-practice, and he said he's really matured. Big part of that was the strength conditioning coach, Tremaine Carroll.
Yeah, and then Drake London, who was the tunnel captain today, guys, former SC wide receiver. I asked him if Jacoby reminds him of himself a little bit. He's like, no, Jacoby's way more smooth than me. He makes catches way up in the air, those combat catches that I don't really see in the NFL that much.
Third down. Mayava, there's Lane. Snags it, and a first.
I mean, how about that? I mean, Drake London given that type of praise. And then I think in the inverse, if you're Jacoby Lane and the litany of receivers that you could just call. Drake London, you just think of all of the guys in the past at USC. There's such pride at that position, to Rhett's points. I got a
Curtis
feeling.
Conway,
Curtis
Keyshawn
Conway,
Johnson,
that's
on and
right.
on.
So many talented ones. I think of Kerry Colbert. The list goes on and on.
First down and 10. Fake it to Lemon. Give it to Eli Sanders. Break one, break two. And eventually the help comes after a hard 3 yards.
So much talent here at USC. They're spreading the wealth today. So many skill position players. And I think Jane Mayava's seeing the game really clean. Like, missed a deep touchdown opportunity. There's a drop from Jacoby Lane, but overall you can feel a different command of just this first quarter than he had throughout the majority of the complete games that he started last year.
Back to Sanders. Patient run. Block on the outside. Looking for the end zone. And he stepped out at the 3. 17 yards.
Let's take a look. Oh, right foot out. And he wants that one by about 2-3 inches. Great call by the officials all over it. Good hustle there from Christian Ford as well in the back end.
Brian Jackson, the big battering ram of a running back, has come into the game. And he's got it. And he finds the clear path in for the Trojans touchdown.
Keep an eye on your right guard right there, Alani Noah, as this play begins. The physicality, the explosiveness. Immediately to his right, gets one, gets two defenders. This offensive line continues to impress.
You said it, Yogi. Everyone's getting to touch the ball. Spreading it around.
Well, I think a huge part of this for Lincoln Riley and spreading it around to a wide array of talented players is this offensive line. This offensive line, year one when Lincoln Riley was here, that's when they hit lightning in a bottle. And that was Caleb Williams' Heisman year. And every one of the starters on the offensive line came out of high school. The year two, they went via the portal. It didn't work out. Last year was a little bit of a mix. Every starter today was recruited out of high school. And you think of the three specifically, and Elijah Page, Tobias Raymond, Alani Noah, they were the same class. And I just think it takes a lot of time for that group to mature, and they've done that through the first couple drives.
Coming up tomorrow, the opening spike continues at the Kohl Center in Madison with two marquee women's volleyball matchups, Wisconsin, Texas, Creighton, Kansas. Coverage begins at 2 Eastern, 11 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. What a great first day of football, full Saturday of football. At least not first day. We've had 5 days of college football already.
We take 7. I mean, let's keep it moving. The way it started today in Columbus, are you kidding me? The physicality, the effort there.
2 drives, 2 touchdowns. There have only been 4 possessions total in this first quarter between the two. And Missouri State will have the ball for the 3rd time today. Jacob Clark, last time we saw him was that 3rd down blitz from the Trojans. They had to peel him up off the turf. And he's coming back out to try and jumpstart this offense.
This is an aggressive offense under Nick Petrino, the son of Bobby Petrino. It's very creative. It's based in pro-style principles from way back in the day with Tom Coughlin and the Jacksonville Jaguars. That's where this offense was originated from. But they have continued to evolve, and they have a bunch of tempos. Right now, I might start a little bit of a tempo guy. I don't know if I'd sit back there changing plays. It has not worked well for Jacob Clark against this pass rush.
Pressure. And he goes down. Cameron Fountain. Coaches told us he made a huge jump in camp, and he just collapsed the pocket for the sack.
I think he made a huge jump last year. You go back and watch their bowl game. He might be the most impressive player on the field. He gets there first. I got a feeling that number 6, Anthony Lucas, is like, can I get one? He's had pressure all game long in this first quarter. Still doesn't have a sack in his career at USC. He's trying to get his first.
So behind the chains for a 2nd down to start the 2nd quarter for Missouri State. Nick Petrino and Jacob Clark looking for some answers against this USC front that's starting to get a push. 14-3 Trojans after 1 quarter. LA Memorial Coliseum going to become the first place to host 3 Olympics coming up in 2028. The Court of Honor, honoring some of the greats who have impacted sports, been a part of this place. From Jackie Robinson to JFK to Bruce Springsteen. Hard to list a guest list quite like that at many other venues. Missouri State starts the 2nd quarter with a completion to the LA native Makai Cope, who's played in this place before. So he has experience not just against USC, he played at Utah, but also experience at this level. Missouri State coming up from the FCS level last year. So Ryan Beard, he made the transition once as a player at Western Kentucky, now leading a program in its first FBS game.
And they're going to see, I think, man-to-man coverage here and some pressure from Eric Gentry again. The left side of that offensive line.
Gentry breaks through because this is a screen. Great catch there from Ramon Green, but it doesn't get past the line of scrimmage. No gain.
A better play from Bishop Fitzgerald, one of the new faces on this defense. Number 19. He's all over the screen. He sees it the entire time. You see Jade Abasiri dropping from the defensive tackle position. I mean, Danton Lynn is giving so many different looks right now to this offensive front, and Jacob Clark. There's not a lot of answers outside of the quick game.
So 2nd punt now for Anthony Fred Urique. Good snap from the true freshman Mitch Weisenborn. But this is going to come to rest at about the 36-yard line. Makai Lemon, as advertised.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a breakout season. I think this duo should be in the conversation of among the best in America. Makai Lemon every which way through the run game, getting a little block from his running back, does it as a route runner from the slot, can line up outside. And I just love how shifty he is, guy. He's so tough. Watch him just get off me. One, two, takes 3 guys to tackle him. I think he's going to be an absolute star. Remember, he's one of those players who's committed to Oklahoma. Lincoln Riley becomes the head coach here. He comes to USC, was hurt his first year. After that first season, his role has grown and grown. Now he is one of the lead players within the walls of that program in many facets.
Led the team in receptions and in yards last year. Had 52 catches for nearly 800 yards. Maiava. There is Lake McCree, the tight end, running free. Nothing but green grass, and Lake McCree is gone. A 64-yard sprint.
How about Lake McCree? You'll see him just kind of delay, and then he'll go like there. And Jaden Maiava, a slight delay, nothing doing. And there goes that man, the 5th-year senior. You can't help but flash back to what he had to navigate a year ago in Ann Arbor with an injury. We talked to him earlier this week, and he said he's finally not only cleared medically, but clear between his ears.
You're right. It was an indelible image, sitting on the bench, his head in his hands. You're wondering if he had another severe injury. And he found his way back, and now has found the end zone.
And there's some celebration going on in LA. Lake McCree, he's earned it. Lincoln Riley with a fist pump. Trojans up.
Career-long reception for Lake McCree results in a 64-yard touchdown. Get over in the shade, some cool air, a little hydration, catch your breath. What a great moment.
Yeah, what a great moment indeed. I mean, just talking to him as we were able to at practice earlier this week, he was so grateful for the opportunity to play. We asked him, what was it really like at Michigan when you had to navigate that injury with your head in your hands? And he said, I asked myself, will I ever play again? Will I ever play again? The thing that you love so much, taken potentially from you in an instant. Learned, of course, after that it wouldn't be. He went back to work, and it paid off there with the longest reception of his career. And this is a beauty. Sometimes it just works out beautifully. You're going to see the linebackers for Missouri State. They're going to blitz right here. On the snap, you'll see Lake McCree looking for one of them. He wants to kind of fake like he's blocking them. Well, they're not there anymore, so it's an easy read from Maiava, and away he goes, showcasing some speed, high and tight, clinic worthy right there. And I'll tell you what, there's probably nobody on the sideline that is more happier for an individual than they are for Lake McCree.
Offensive line loves it too on an 85-degree day. A 1-play scoring drive after a 10-play scoring drive preceded it. Jacob Clark back to the ground. Cameron Fountain, hello.
Cameron Fountain has been a monster this whole game. I mean, really, he and Anthony Lucas have really been disruptive. They continue to find their way into the backfield. We had a chance to spend some time with Eric Henderson, who coaches the defensive line. He and Sean Nua. This group is real. It's the biggest area of growth for USC this past offseason.
The average weight of the 2 deep on the defensive line is 300 pounds as Clark throws out complete to Jamaria Robinson. But that is a 22-pound average increase of weight on the defensive line per player over last year.
Well, they finally just looked the part of the Big Ten, right? Devin Tompkins, he's a guy who can play in the middle. He can play off the edge. Number 8 right in the middle of your screen. You see Keyshawn Silver, 6'4", 330. These are huge humans. Jakeem Stewart, we're not seeing him today. He's another big one as a freshman, 6'5", 290. He should be a senior in high school. It's just a huge upgrade across the board.
The #1 defensive line recruit in the nation. That's what USC's waiting for. 3rd down. Clark stands in, throws a pick. Taken away by Bishop Fitzgerald. And it's a pick six. He's not letting go of that football. Until he did. It's put away for safekeeping.
Yeah. He's taking that to the side. Not going to the official.
We see the Trojan walk before the game when they make their way into the stadium. Those last 2 touchdowns have been Trojan walks. Lake McCree and now Bishop Fitzgerald.
Delay of game. Offense. The try will be from the 8-yard line.
One of the few things that hasn't been operationally perfect for USC today. Trying to make it 28 unanswered. Ryan Sayeri again. Hank Pepper, the snapper, back for his second year as the starting snapper at USC. 28 to 3.
Well, defense, they need to all work together. How about the pressure up front? A twist, a stunt, some physicality. And then how about in the back end? Beautiful job here and here. 24, Christian Pierce. 19, Bishop Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's reading it the whole time, all the way to the house. Really nice job by him. See him kind of going from the right hash to playing center field. He's got to look up that seam ball. He looks it up with near perfection. Celebration for his first score, and he's doing it with 24. And this is a great story with Christian Pierce, because in comes Bishop Fitzgerald in the spring, and here is Christian Pierce. Pierce did one thing. He poured into the new guy. He's the one that taught him the offense. Oftentimes in the transfer portal era, a new guy comes into your position. The last thing you want to do is teach him how to play your spot. Christian Pierce did not do that. A beautiful, selfless act, and now look how it's played out.
Yeah, remember this, guys, this is a secondary that saw so much turnover year over year. Obviously, Kamari Ramsey was the constant there, but Dan Lynn wants to get his best players on the field. Sometimes that means having 3 safeties, and they can do that because of the talent of a player like Fitzgerald, CP, Christian Pierce, and obviously Ramsey.
Kicking team number 48. Penalty is a first down at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, the ability for Kamari Ramsey to play so many positions, Rhett, I think allows those 3 safeties to be on the field. You've seen Kamari Ramsey play the deep safety, the nickel linebacker type defender. And I think, look, we all know Caleb Downs, maybe the best defensive player in the country, but at that spot, a versatile safety, Kamari Ramsey, is worthy of being in that type of conversation. And I know, Rhett, with everybody you've talked to in the National Football League, he's one of the first guys they come to see when they're watching USC.
No question, Yogi. He is a potential day 2 type of pick, and definitely a favorite among scouts when they're coming here to practice and asking USC personnel about him. Kamari Ramsey is a popular topic here.
2 touchdowns for the Trojans in the last 4 plays of the game, and able to bounce it for a moment. Looked like Shamari Lawrence was going to get stuffed. He eventually still gets stopped for no gain, and now it's 2nd and 10.
You wonder for Missouri State, are they going to try to create a little tempo, a little bit of rhythm? You go back to their first 2 drives, and they were able to move the ball a little bit. And then the pocket just kept collapsing. And I think trying to change things at the line of scrimmage sometimes has hurt Jacob Clark, because SC has changed as well. And that type of communication up front for the offensive line needs to continue to evolve if they're going to keep that pocket clean.
Flag down. Clark in trouble, and he steps out maybe behind the line of scrimmage. Might have lost a yard, and we'll check on this flag.
illegal shift offense. 2 players moving. Number 80 did not reset. Penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Time for today's advanced stats, sponsored by IFS.AI. Improvement for USC's defense significant. Last year, the best points per game since 2013, yards per game and per play since 2020, and the best rush yard defense per game since 2016.
Look, bottom line, Dan Lynn's one of the more impressive defensive coordinators in the country, and you look at this staff. Man, doesn't take a backseat to many.
Cam Fountain puts Clark on the ground, but he's able to complete it. And a huge conversion, Ramon Green, first down into USC territory, a play sorely needed for this Bears offense.
Yeah, and I think here's a little tempo, I think, coming for Missouri State. A nice job. So aggressive is USC. They said, all right, let's try to set up a little bit of screen, take advantage of that speed and athleticism for the Trojans. Nice job just sitting in the pocket and take a shot from Fountain. Big explosive play.
Clark's taking some hits today and popped right up. Redshirted in 2019, the 20 COVID year, then 21 at Minnesota as a backup. Transferred to Missouri State in 2022, was a backup. Devin Tompkins with the stop. Then in 23 takes a medical redshirt Jacob Clark. He was going to be the starter, injured in 24, has a great year, and now in his 7th season.
Yeah, and he's so grateful for the opportunity. You know, he said earlier in the game, he's had chances if he wanted to leave, but he said, what Ryan Beard, what Nick Petrino have done for me in my life is so impressive. And I think when you look at what he will mean to this program moving forward as a full member of the FBS is something that you really can't put a definition on.
Into traffic, caught, tough catch by Dash Luke, and it's an 11-yard pickup, and it's 3rd down and 2 in what is probably 4-down territory.
Yeah, they want to be aggressive here, meaning they've got 2 downs here for this opportunity. Are they going to try to run it here? They try the quick game. They've had success in the quick game. They really like Dash Luke in the slot. See if they get him the ball quickly.
Clark on the move. Trying to throw it back. Trying to stay alive, and now takes a loss, gets pushed out, and it's 4th down. Braylon Shelby all over him.
Yeah, they're trying to get something quick to the flats. Nothing doing there. Nice job by the offensive line, not getting downfield, and for Clark, not making a tough situation worse. Here they are on 4th down. I'd imagine they're to go for it here. It's tough, guy, when you want to work like a combination type of play like they did there, you got to have a little bit more time. They try to roll out and have max protection, but nothing doing against that edge. Now I think they'll spread it out, see if they can work the slot Dash Luke at the top of the screen.
5 wide receivers on the field for Missouri State. Play clock is low. They've got 1 timeout left. It's at 3, it's at 2, and they'll use their last timeout of the half here before this 4th down and 4.
3rd and final timeout of the half, Missouri State. Be 30 seconds in late.
Coming up on Thursday, don't miss women's soccer. 4th-ranked USC takes on Stanford, the #1 team in the nation. Live coverage begins at 9:30 Eastern, 6:30 Pacific on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. Missouri State going to stay with that same 5 receiver personnel, you think, after this timeout?
I think so. I think that's their best opportunity to find success. I think the challenge is going to be the manipulation of the line of scrimmage. Because USC, every time Jacob Clark has audibled, they have audibled as well and adjusted their front. And I'd say about 90% of the time, it's been advantage the Trojans on the defensive line because of that. No Eric Gentry on the field right now, which is probably a good thing if you're Jacob Clark and that massive wingspan of his. But there are fresh legs, and Jaden Walker, number 31, at the inside backer spot.
4th down and 4. Pressure up the gut. Picked up. Clark wide open. Caught. Touchdown Christian Gardner. The first catch of his career is a score in the Coliseum. The two kids from Dallas hook up for Missouri State's first FBS level touchdown.
Oh, this is awesome. It's just a simple go route, a little corner, and it's a rare bust thus far from USC in the back end. And there was pressure up the middle. Jaden Walker was met by Shamari Lawrence. Jacob Clark stood in and delivered a dime.
A quarterback in his 7th year, the long and winding road, connects with a freshman playing in his first career game on a stage they could only dream of. And so momentum back to Mo State.
Back here at the Coliseum, where Jacob Clark just helped cut the USC lead to 18 with a fantastic touchdown pass. Turns out he was high school teammates back in Rockwall with Jackson Smith-Njigba, first-round pick a couple years ago at the Seattle Seahawks. So I talked to JSN this week, asked him what stood out to him about Jacob Clark. Accuracy in his response to adversity. Never lets anything get him down. Certainly the case here, fighting back from that deficit. And then the accuracy, we saw that perfect ball placement on that touchdown in the face of pressure. And so JSN said his message to him, to Jacob Clark, was, hey man, just keep getting up, let it rip, and keep getting after him. That's certainly the case here for Missouri State, Yogi.
Yeah, I got a feeling Smith-Njigba is going to be happy man today after that Ohio State game earlier. All right, how about this? A little blitz pickup, just enough to slow down Jaden Walker. There's a collision, boom. Doesn't completely stonewall him, but gives Clark enough time to be able to sit back in the pocket, get an extra half a second, and deliver the rope that you just referenced to Tristan Gardner. I got a feeling Jackson Smith-Njigba caught a corner route or two, Red, from Jacob Clark back in the day.
Those two played high school football together for 2 years, put up some huge numbers. And Clark just threw a touchdown to a young man who was in 7th grade when Jacob Clark was a freshman in Minnesota. So USC, who had a sequence where they scored 2 touchdowns in 4 plays, 1 on offense, 1 on defense. Back on offense, and Wayman Jordan scored the opening touchdown of the day with 1 yard.
Well, a huge part of the game plan for USC was just about efficiency and execution. Not going to carry a ton into the game, but just execute at a really high level as they're an empty here.
Quickly out of the hands of Mayava to McCree. And he's getting marked shy of the line to gain. Take a look at the drive summary. 7 for 75, 10 for 75, touchdown, and then the McCree touchdown was 64 yards. 1 for Wayman Jordan, 1 for Brian Jackson, and then McCree the touchdown.
Love how they use this tight end in the fullback position here. Little lead blocker.
For Wayman Jordan, 1 cut and a first down.
And the patience from Wayman Jordan, they call him Waymo, is so impressive. Definitely not self-driving. I mean, he's driving the car here in the run game, and his patience is really what's impressive. I think so much in this Lincoln Riley offense. There's so many moving parts up front, whether it's Lake McCree, pullers of the offensive line. You've got to be able to be patient, trust your eyes, and then hit the hole.
Mayava lofts it. Makai Lemon stays in and gets pulled down maybe by the face mask out of bounds. He's saying, I got pulled down by the face mask, and luckily the play stands 26 yards. He's just been all over the field today.
Yeah, he gets a big assist though from the young freshman Tanook Hines. He runs a post route to clear it up and just wide open. I mean, it's just an easy pitch and catch Nice job having a feel where the sideline is. Let's take a look at the end. Might have been a little pull there on that face mask.
You could see it too, Yogi. He's looking up into the sun to catch that ball. He's got a little tint on the visor. That ball was coming out of the shade and into the sun, and he handled it perfectly. Wayman Jordan. 1, 2. You can almost count on it. If the first guy brings him down, that is a moral victory, in addition to just a good defensive play. 16 yards.
Really nice job. One cut. I mean, just no wasted movement from Wayman Jordan. I mean, he just has not been touched. I feel like in tag, he was just thriving growing up in Florida.
Recess with Wayman. What a nightmare. Jacoby Lane.
I want to go back to this throw to Wayman Jordan. It's a little thing, guy, but when you're throwing a swing route to a running back, you want to put it in a place where they can catch it and go. And the accuracy, the mechanics, to me, watching Jaden Mayava have really grown incredibly from last year to now. A lot of times you see quarterbacks miss that throw. It's behind him. He's catching it, doesn't miss one stride.
Quick throw to Nook Hines. First catch of his career. Gets USC down to the 3-yard line. Boy, how excited about Tanook Hines is USC.
How about the throw? Look at his arm angle. Oh, you turn 2 here like you're a Dodger a few minutes away here in LA. Whoop, there you go. And then the freshman goes out and plucks it. Doesn't let it get to his body. So many weapons.
Mayava keeps it. Mayava cuts it back. And he's into the paint.
You want your quarterback to play with confidence and command. A little zone read all day long. Reads the edge. Westlock is all over the running back. Mayava keeps it, slows down, shows his athleticism, cuts on back. Touchdown, QB1.
Sayuri. 5 different touchdowns from 5 different Trojans today.
And the catalyst on every one of those is that man, Jaden Mayava. They said his shoulders dropped, that he had some confidence, that he knew he was that guy. He's proven that thus far. A little chest bump to celebrate.
Still ahead. Huge day of football continues. UW takes on Colorado State under the lights, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app.
Was there last week watching Jed Fitch's squad. And much like SC, they just look different on offense and defensive line. Zach Durfee would be the guy to key in on. Can he be a game wrecker like we've seen these edges today for USC?
Look what USC's done today. Averaged 30 last year, which was very good. At 30 points per game, 5th in the league. 35 today. 5 different players. One of those touchdowns came on defense. And it answered, by the way, Missouri State capturing things for a moment. Saying they're going to take the momentum too strong, but scoring a touchdown for the first time today.
They've done good things, Missouri State. They just haven't been able to surpass their mistakes. And Jaden Mayava has made them pay as you look at what's gone on thus far. How about 1-3?
How about them? What an environment that was today. Texas, Ohio State. Ohio State got that win.
Oregon.
Alabama goes down.
Alabama goes down. Oregon doing what they do.
There was no part 2 to the opener against Idaho when Oregon was the #1 team in the nation last year.
I got a feeling that was a message that was probably shared with Jake Butt and company, calling that one on the Big Ten Network.
Not again. Not like last year.
Not like the one we had last year. Yeah, you're exactly right. Good to see.
Has the duck found his head? That's the real.
That's a good question. Okay, well, it's good to see Kobe Pepe in for the Trojans in his 6th year. He's playing the nose tackle right over the ball there. A real veteran within this defensive line, and they're going to be able to showcase some of their depth that you'll need once you get to Big Ten play.
Lamont Green showing his speed today. He had that big 3rd down conversion on the last drive and a burst of 12 yards.
Look, this team is not going to just lay down at Missouri State. Nice job pulling the offensive line. Mark Hutchinson is his 6th year, leading the way as the right guard clears an opening for a 1st down.
Again, Green. And he gets a couple.
I like the style in which Nick Petrino's calling plays here on this drive. They're trying to get to the perimeter more. They're pulling offensive linemen. They pulled both the right guard Hutchinson and right tackle Eric Cade. So we get the old 2-minute timeout.
So Missouri State, USC is going to have the ball to start the 2nd half. Missouri State trying to chew up these last 2 minutes and finish with points. But this 1st half has been a half to celebrate so far for the Trojans today. Coming up at the half, we'll send it to Dave Repson and Howard Griffith for the halftime report for some 1st half reactions. The Buckeyes went over Texas, plus Kirk Ferentz on the verge of tying Woody Hayes for the most career Big Ten wins. Iowa looks like they'll take care of business today, and that sets up a big one for them next week.
Oh, sure does. You know, that rivalry against Iowa State. He's trying to downplay it, but you can't argue with that record that he is on the verge of breaking.
In his 27th season as a head coach. 2nd down here under the 2-minute timeout, and whistles and a flag.
I like Denton Lynn, what he's doing here. We'll see what the penalty is, but in back is Eric Gentry and Desmond Stevens, the 2 starting linebackers.
While the clock was stopped, false start. Number 51 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Abube Dike Nabugu, the guilty party.
Yeah, you'll see it right there. A little bit of a jump. Yep, good call by the officials all over that one. USC trying to get 2 here. Can they get a stop, get the ball back? They also will get it to kick off the 3rd quarter.
Clark gets it out to Shamari Lawrence. Collisions all over the 40-yard line after a short gain.
So much of Denton Lynn's defense is rooted in the Ryan family. Rex Ryan, Rob Ryan, just creating chaos in the line of scrimmage and putting your best 11 on the field. We're looking at 5, at times 6 DBs on the field. It's just hard to identify who is who, and they're so physically explosive at the line of scrimmage, and then boom, there's Christian Pierce sending it back inside. There's Tompkins running over to it. I mean, there's just bodies around the ball.
USC takes a timeout on defense here, Yogi, to stop the clock at 1:54 before this 3rd and long.
Yeah, I see 2 timeouts, so if they get a stop here, I'd imagine they may use their next timeout to get the ball back. A great conversation yesterday with Lincoln Riley about situational football, late in games, things that are constantly going on the headset. I'd watch Eric Gentry in the middle of this defense. His wingspan 7'6" and a quarter.
2 extra rushers. Clark gets it out, and it's broken up. Bishop Fitzgerald was right on time.
He does such a nice job of being patient. I mean, he's just playing center field right in the middle. Watch him wait, nothing over his head. He knows where the sticks are, and then watch him drive. Boom, he's all over it. Beautiful job of not getting there early against Ronell Johnson. Driving on the ball, never getting out of his back pedal. The technique of this secondary has really stood out. in this first half. Not a lot of wasted movement, guy.
Makai Lemon back deep to receive would have been a couple shorter punch from Fred Urique. Gets this off clean, and Lemon won't return it. Takes a great Missouri State bounce, and that is finally touched down all the way at the 2.5-yard line. A 57-yard boot, and that's exactly what Missouri State needed. And back comes Jade Mayava.
Yeah, and you look at what he's done in this first half. It's been nothing short of impressive. Understanding the integrity of the pocket. Look at his eyes. They're downfield the whole time. He just got a calmness to him, a steadiness that we didn't see all the time last year. Perfect location to Makai Lemon. You see the strength of their top wide receiver, and then to Lake McCree. And McCree does the rest. And then how about this? Understanding how to read the zone read game. I think his legs are going to be more of a threat than maybe the country will realize heading into this season. But after watching this tape, they know he is a threat. Which guy leads us to here? 2-minute situation. This is where you have to have mastery. Last year in the Big Ten, 31 games decided by 1 score or less in conference play. It's drives like this. It's understanding the situations that allow you to have great success.
It's a USC team that had leads in the fourth quarter in almost all of their games last year, and what resulted in a 7-win season. Mayava out of his end zone, pitch and catch Makai Lemon.
How about the route? Are you kidding me, from Makai Lemon? A comeback, you're threatening like you're going to take the top off the defense. You break it off, the fake, and then you got to get your head around really quick. Nice job of Mayava. Anytime you're going to turn your back to the defense, you've got to peek as quickly as you possibly can to see what the coverage is. Nice job of understanding that.
13 completions for Mayava. 6 of them have gone to Lemon. Now to Eli Sanders. And he gets swallowed up.
Okay, you got 2 timeouts. Know the situation. Clock is ticking. I still think there's a lot of time here. Get set. This is management of the line of scrimmage right now. Make sure everybody is set.
And throw it to Makai Lemon. That's a good fundamental. Another first down. It is. And the clock will stop to move the chains. And we'll see a helmet came off here. It's Makai Lemon's. And so he's going to have to leave the field.
For the first down. Number 6 helmet came off. The play must leave for 1 down.
Yeah, and this is an opportunity where SC is not going to use a timeout to get Makai Lemon back on the field, I'd imagine. Good job by Lincoln Riley. And in comes DJ Jordan, who they are very high on him in the slot. But look, guys, Missouri State's playing off coverage. I mean, this is pitch and catch central. You just got to make sure you put it in the right location if you're Mayava.
Under a minute now in the first half.
A lot of time in this audible.
Mayava pressured, and it's batted away. Clock stops at 38.
And they're trying to go right back to the well, to that little throw to the tight end. This time it was Walker Lyons. He had him there. Probably would have been tackled. Then you'd have to use your timeout. So the batted ball might actually be a good thing here for SC. Live to 2nd and 10, but with 38 ticks left. Now this is truly mastery. I'd imagine Lincoln Riley is talking in that headset. Remember, it goes off at 15 seconds on the play clock. So you got about 5 left to tell him maybe 2 plays.
See the tap on the shoulder? That tells him that his time on the headset's about to run out with the quarterback. Setting up the screen to Eli Sanders. Gets 1 block, 2 blocks. Sanders high stepping and cutting it loose. Galloping for a Trojan touchdown. A 73-yard strike. Well, track and field is going to be in this building in the 2028 Olympics. They'll put the track right over this beautiful playing surface.
How about the ball placement again? This time to Sanders. What did he tell us after practice? He said, give me a sliver and I will take it to the house. He didn't need much other than a beautiful block from Jacoby Lane to spring him. House call.
Tell me he didn't look like he was running the last leg of the 4x1.
agree. This team has speed, and the decision-making has been so impressive. Calling the screen, perfect location. You got two big horses out in front of you. And how about right there? The unselfishness of the maturity. Big block from Jacoby Lane, putting the DB on his back. High stepping LA 2028. Hey, right now it's all about 2025 for Eli Sanders and these Trojans.
That's now 6 touchdowns by 6 different players.
You know, we've been here for so many of the openers for SC over the years, over the decades, Guy. I want to be honest, man. The last decade, it hasn't looked efficient. It hasn't looked clean in the opener, right? There's always things to clean up. And I get it, 2 penalties on special teams. There's going to be stuff. But
that's little stuff.
The efficiency, regardless of opponent, you don't have pre-snap penalties, alignment penalties. I think for Lincoln Riley and this staff, offensive coordinator Luke Heward coming into this season, this game of like, let's just do what we do best. We have the weapons. You just talked about 6 different players going to touchdown, man. And they have found ways to get them the ball creatively, but also efficiently. And the decision-making of Jaden Mayava, easily his most efficient game thus far as a Trojan in his 5th start.
You will see USC will host former SC head coach Clay Helton and Georgia Southern here next week. 25 seconds remaining. Who needs clock management and timeouts when you're going to break off a 74-yard touchdown run?
You know, I flashed back to, it was a year ago, and it was a totally different scenario, but Ohio State, Texas, and it's that screen before the half to Travion Henderson for a touchdown. And you're thinking, even if you're the defense of Missouri State, like, you just don't want to give up something easy, something big. You want to make them earn it. But the execution and the pulling of Elijah Page and Tobias Raymond, I mean, it was really impressive there in all parts of the USC offense.
To the ground, and Eric Gentry there for the twist down. And a word after.
He's such a passionate player. You hope he can just be healthy all year long. His influence, I think, is as great as anybody defensively in the Big Ten. His frame, where they can utilize him, he can come off the edge. I've seen him play inside backer. And the guys feed off that energy, and I got a feeling he's going to have some.
11 of those 15 completions were for 10 yards or more. And because Missouri State took the ball to open the game, it's going to be USC on offense in the second half. And Eli Sanders coming out to about the 25-yard line. Let's go down to Rhett Lewis. Rhett?
Just talked to Missouri State head coach, Coach Beard. He's, you know, a lot of respect for the talent that USC obviously has here, but said a couple of things they got to do. They got to eliminate chunk plays on defense, and then on offense, they got to find a way to get in more manageable 3rd down situations. Here, it was praising the toughness of his quarterback, Jacob Clark, but expect them to move the pocket a little bit more and then try to find some more efficiency in the run game in order to take some of those hits off of his QB.
All right, Rhett, new quarterback, meanwhile, for USC, Hassan Longstreet, one of the top recruits in the nation, the freshman from here in Southern California, Corona Centennial High School, and he takes over for Jaden Mayava in the second half. The new setter is DeAndre Reed, and to the ground go the Trojans to start this second half.
Tell you what, a little scouting report on Hassan Longstreet. This is a guy who has lived in the facility since he showed up, and you can see that type of command. In fact, in the spring and in the summer, talking to the coaching staff, they're like, hey, you got to go home. You need a break from this thing, man. He's so committed to the craft. He was a longtime commit to Texas A&M. He flips late to USC. This staff is so excited about his future.
He cuts it loose, and it is Zacharias Williams with his first catch today, the sophomore transfer from Utah.
Okay, so you talked in the first half about Wayman Jordan, and Lincoln Riley saying, I can't wait to see him play because what he saw his first few snaps. It's the same thing when you watch this quarterback, Hassan Longstreet. He can simply flick it. Look at that throw. Him as an absolute dart. You're looking at his command now for a true freshman.
After the play,
here.
personal foul, late hit. Number 9 of the defense. 15-yard penalty to be added to the end of the play with an automatic first down.
That's the transfer from Colorado, Dylan Dixon, who committed the penalty. Number 9.
Those are tough. Little frustration. Those are little discipline things that Coach Beard, I'm sure, will clean up as the season progresses. But here we are, third snap, and 3 different times he's changed the play at the line of scrimmage. I mean, you think line up and just run it? He's saying, no, let's make sure we're in the perfect play.
First carry for King Miller, the redshirt freshman. First touch of his career goes for a loss of 1. Hassan Longstreet, who enrolled in time to participate in bowl practice last year for USC. You see Maava is thinking, I got a few more throws in me today. Makai Lemon caught almost half of his passes today. 7 of the 15 Maava completions. Jacoby Lane, is that going to be a big 3? You know, you look ahead 2 months that we're talking about is leading USC to a chance to contend in the Big Ten and maybe beyond. King Miller gets hit hard after a couple of yards.
I'll tell you what, I think it's going to be a fun debate as the season goes on among the best duos in the country. Ohio State clearly has one of them. They're at the top right now, and Jeremiah Smith is just so high. Might be the best offensive player in the nation, but these two are in that conversation. I know Rhett talks to a lot of people in the National Football League, and when they come to practice, those 2 wideouts are 2 of the first people they are checking out.
Third down for Longstreet. Thought about it. Now he'll make a break. Fighting his way, and he's got the first down.
A, impressive. B, freshman. Right? I mean, part of that is like, hey, man, just get out of bounds. But he says, no, I know the situation. I love how he takes it to the sideline and tries to split the defenders and delivers a little bit of a blow, and off goes the helmet of J.J. O'Neal, the captain of Missouri State.
Longstreet's just like, I've been practicing, Yogi, since December. Let me get hit.
Well, in addition, just to remind folks, when you grow up in LA, to play quarterback at USC is a huge deal. His first time here at the Collie, you can sense he knows that.
With time, and he was looking out towards the numbers, and a flag comes in. Carson Tabaracci, the tight end, the intended receiver, a couple of flags.
Yeah, I mean, and that was late for Longstreet. He had him early, hung onto the ball a little too long. See what the penalty is.
Pass interference for 14 of the defense. 15-yard penalty with an automatic first down.
Take a listen to the sound here. Hassan Longstreet as he gets going, of the collision, of him delivering the physicality as he goes to the sideline. That's not Brian Jackson. That's Hassan Longstreet, true freshman quarterback.
Brian Jackson standing next to him now in the shotgun. And there's Walker Lyons.
That might seem like a simple 5-6 yard gain, but there's pressure coming to the right for Hassan Longstreet. Pressure coming off the edge here. He understands you want to throw it to where the pressure came from. It's just an easy completion. Really nice job by him recognizing Jayshon Cooper, number 21, who's coming off the edge. Pitch and catch, live to see another down. Double move up top.
Keeps it. Longstreet beats the first man. Gets by another. Block in front and steps out with a first down.
Yeah, I think what's pretty cool is when you are on the far hash, down in the red zone, as far away as possible from Lincoln Riley, who's signaling in the plays, and you're a true freshman, not only do you get an audible about 12 seconds on the play clock, you don't snap until about 4, and you make sure that you're in a positive play. Nice job reading the edge against DJ Westlock Again, the transfer from Missouri and Oregon State, a defensive end.
Now the communication's gone off at 15 on the play clock. Oh, Longstreet thought about throwing it and instead takes it himself. The first Trojan touchdown of his young career. At this rate, the list of players who hasn't scored might be shorter than the list of players who have.
You tell a quarterback always to steal a pump. Watch this as Hassan Longstreet sprints to his right. See him just kind of fake it, steal a pump, does a nice job. Thomas Anderson in the corner jumps outside of the tight end, and you're not going to stop one of the most athletic young quarterbacks in America.
Several different players have scored a touchdown for USC today.
Several different players. How about all different players are having a great time on that sideline celebrating? Lincoln Riley's pretty fired up about this team's execution.
There's offensive coordinator Nick Petrino for Missouri State, his 6th season. The son of Bobby Petrino took over this offense, part of the staff when Bobby Petrino came to Missouri State, and then when he left, Ryan Beard became the head coach from the defensive coordinator. Nick Petrino is the offensive coordinator, and on the defensive side is L.D. Scott. Ryan Beard is married to Bobby's son Katie, or daughter Katie, and L.D. Scott is married to Bobby's other daughter Kelsey. So you've got young Nick Petrino coaching with his 2 brother-in-laws. Let's go down to red.
Safe to say play calling is in the family DNA here. In fact, Jacob Clark, the Missouri State quarterback, told us that he thinks that Nick Petrino was installing Bobby's plays when Nick was playing in high school. One of those plays that he's called a whole bunch is doubles right 53 zebra. In fact, they draw it up so much they put it on a t-shirt with that acronym, Feed the Studs. Yogi, pretty good high-low play here. How we execute it.
I like it. Maybe we kind of come back here, a little whip route. What do you think? Get the ball to Dash Luke again. He's at a nice little nighter. Tristan Gardner, the freshman, but
could use it here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. But it's just a great story, right? I've never heard of that in my entire career.
Jamarie Robinson with a big gain here to start this drive for Missouri State. 18 yards on that pickup. Of course, for Missouri State, this is game 1 as an FBS program, and so much season ahead for them in Conference USA.
Do a nice job there, just going low, just trying to get that defensive front of SC on the ground. He checks, SC checks.
And he throws it to the receiver screen. And it's a pickup for Tristan Gardner, who has the only touchdown today for Missouri State. Is Jacob Clark okay? A tough day.
Yeah, but he hasn't flinched. You know, he talked to us earlier this week saying, hey, I've been in big environments before, not intimidated by it. But I'll tell you what, people have been in his face. They've hit him many times tonight, but his acumen to the line of scrimmage, it's impressive. He's getting them in and out of different protections all game.
Really enjoyed talking to him and defensive back J.J. O'Neal this week. We mentioned it. This is his 7th year of college football. He's had a couple medical setbacks here on 2nd down against a 3-man rush. He gets thrown to the ground by Jade Abasiri.
Jade Abasiri, he's an absolute specimen. We saw him after practice and it was like, whoa, Coach Lynn, does anybody look better than him with his pads off? And he goes, yeah, you're right. And he's finally starting to put it together. This is a guy who did not have any bad habits, but he didn't have necessarily the habits that allow you to be an elite defensive lineman until this year.
4th sack of the day for USC.
You know, he was a wrestler growing up. He's got great hands. That was a good shot of them right there on that play in the backfield in Abasiri.
Clark, long throw, 3rd down, incomplete, and it's now 4th down.
It's tough when, you know, on the previous down, they're rushing 3, they're dropping 8 guy. There's nowhere really to go, and 3 down linemen get home. They get to the quarterback, Jacob Clark. Tough right there again. Nothing really doing. And I think for Ryan Beard, look, they knew what they were walking into tonight. They knew the talent of USC. They had to hit a couple shots early. They had some chances. There's some positive things that'll come off the tape in this game, but you had to play relatively flawless. Haven't created a turnover. Haven't had many explosive plays.
Zacharias Williams back deep, hoping for the first punt return of his career. Farrell catch it out at the 27-yard line. The defensive line has gotten after the quarterback today for USC to the tune of those 4 sacks. Jide Abasiri, 6'5", 295. Good luck.
All right, back here at the Coliseum where SC has a comfortable 49-10 lead. Defense just got off the field. Had a big sack for Jide Abasiri, one of the defensive tackles, who's coached by Eric Henderson, who came to SC last year with major championship pedigree, right? Winning a Super Bowl with the LA Rams and coaching arguably one of the greatest players to ever play the game in Aaron Donald. And so I talked to AD this week about what makes Coach Henny, as they call him, so great. He says it's in the details, the hand placement, where your first step ends up. He says he used to have the Rams defensive line out on the field an hour before practice. And Aaron Donald was like, why are we out here an hour before practice? Well, they'd go back and watch the tape and they'd see some of those details show up and they were like, oh, that's why we were on the field an hour before practice. AD said Coach Henny brought out the best in his game, which is pretty high praise.
Hassan Longstreet, that ball comes out. It's loose. USC recovers it. There's a scramble for it afterwards, and Missouri State is the one that comes away with it. Whoa! How did DJ Westlock grab that?
Yeah, it felt like Aaron Dunn, number 70 for USC, the freshman lineman, was the one who recovered that.
We'll have to see. Is the arm coming? Is the hand coming forward here, Yogi, with the ball?
Yeah, you got to control. No, I don't think so from that. Granted, that was full speed. Oh, and he takes it from the other freshman, Elijah Vicona. And he didn't have control of it. Let's take another look at it here. You got 2 SC linemen all over it, and they don't ever cradle the ball. And they don't have control. So to me, that is the right call, and you're right on the throw.
The ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense is being reviewed.
My first look at, because you're right, they're going to check, was the ball and the hand going forward of Hassan Longstreet? To me, no. So ball on the ground, fumble. That's the first part. Here's a slow motion. Yeah, off the face mask of the defender.
Mitchell Toney.
Yeah, there you go. And then you got 2 linemen falling on it. I wonder what Dean has to say about this one.
Dean Blandino, across town. What do you see, Dean?
So a couple things. Is it a fumble? And it is. You can see the ball is knocked loose before the hand came forward. And then it's the recovery, which is reviewable. Initially, I thought, okay, 79 SC has it. They're going to keep it, but he never actually controlled the football. It's almost loose sitting there. He's on top of it, but a great heads-up play by the defender to reach in there and get control of the football and ultimately possess it. So to me, this is a fumble and a recovery for Missouri State.
That's a new one. Laying on the ball is not possession, right? I don't know that we've seen that one before. Thank you, Dean. That's a great explanation from our rules analyst.
How about just the effort from
After
DJ
reviewing the
Westlock?
play, the ruling of a fumble recovered by the defense is upheld. First down.
All right, so there you go. I don't know that. I don't know. I've seen that one before. Laying on the ball like that and then having it ripped away. And a great job by Westlock to continue through the action. And this will be the first time USC doesn't drive for a score today.
Well, look, every team in America does turnover circuits. There's going to be a new one, I have a feeling, at SC on Tuesday at practice with the offensive line falling on fumbles.
Well, fumbles, it's always one of those things that looks easier than it is. Wow, that was blown up. Jamal Jarrett, the Georgia transfer, 6'5", 360. Now let's take another look back at the fumble.
Yeah, right off of Mitchell Toney's helmet. Yeah, Hassan Longstreet had no feel for him as he beat the edge on the other side of the offensive line. Lessons learned by the young QB and the freshman offensive tackles.
Clark on the roll. He got hit as he let that go. Jerron Askren with his first career catch, the redshirt freshman. Played 4 games and redshirted last year. You know, we were talking about the road for Clark and the injuries he suffered. He told us, you know, after the setback at Minnesota physical in 2021, he thought about walking away. I'll just go coach. Maybe my playing career is done. And found a second life at Missouri State. Now he's got a 3rd and 10.
And it's 4-down territory here for sure. But you got to find a way to slow down. A lot of strength and weight in the middle of this defense. Jamal Jarrett, Floyd Buchard.
Both over 300 pounds inside. Pressure off the edge, and it's sack number 5. Braylon Shelby, the Texas native, brings down Clark.
And that takes them out of 4-down territory. Interior pressures was allows Shelby to get off the edge. Look at these men. I mean, to your point, over 300 pounds, but how about the physicality, the effort? They have such push into the backfield, allow Shelby, who's really an amazing young man. We spent some time with him earlier this week. And it forces Ryan Beard to say, hey, instead of going for it, we're going to try to get points.
Yusuf Obeid on for the 46-yarder. He's got it. That's perfect. That was 665 pounds on the inside, by the way. 2 men. That's 2 people. After the field goal, Missouri State with 13 on the board. SC's got 49. Big Ten Plus gives you more access to more live Big Ten games, more stories, and more highlights 24/7. And Friday, you can see the USC women's volleyball team in action against UCSB. Download the Big Ten Plus app today. It's always game on.
How about the Trojan Knights there? Fired up. They're the ones with their shirts off. They sit right there. They get here early. They are keepers of the victory, which is often at an undisclosed location.
Only they know it.
Yeah, only they know. It's a pretty cool group. We ran into a couple of them earlier this week who manned that part of the stadium.
I think it's great. They sleep outside of Tommy Trojan during UCLA week, and the football players bring them food.
I mean, there's so much in football that you can celebrate, right? I mean, there's so many great elements, that being one of them.
There's no probably better place in the country. That game's November 29th, UCLA SC. No better place in the country to guard a statue in late November than in LA.
Yeah, you're right on that.
.542 to go in the 3rd quarter. SC's offense coming back out. Take a look at By the Numbers, sponsored by Gatorade. Touchdowns on the first 6 drives. Touchdowns by 7 different players, because you have a defensive touchdown in there as well. 421 total yards. There's an offense that was top 25 last year in yards per play. 2nd in the league in total yards. They averaged 437 a game last year. Jade Mayava, the starting quarterback, gave way to the QB2, Hassan Longstreet, here in the 2nd half. And Longstreet back in after a fumble that resulted in a Missouri State field goal. He's going to hand it off to King Miller, and he breaks out. King Miller. Proud of him. .75 yards. The first touchdown of his young career.
How about this offensive line and the movements as this run begins? You got 2 pullers. Micah Benuelos, 59, starts the party. Aaron Dunn is a part of that. And away this young back goes. You'll see him pull from their left to the right, and it's like he shot out of a cannon. Woo! See you later. Here's another guy, Lincoln Riley, said, I can't wait to watch him play.
His twin brother, Kalen, on the offensive line. Lincoln Riley told us he's had the highest yards per carry in practice.
This is pretty fun, man. Keep an eye on 70. Aaron Dunn, he helps out. And look at that run, right down the middle of the defense. There's Dunn, number 70. Nice work by him. That's just a gaping hole in this offensive unit of the run game for Lincoln Riley. When they're pulling offensive linemen, it makes it such a challenge to defend.
Yeah, guys, Lincoln also said that King Miller is good for an explosive play a day. That's what it had been in practice all during fall camp, and I guess we count today as part of that trend. But also count Miller as one of these backs, by the way, which are having a phenomenal day right now, that benefit from the tutelage of running backs coach Anthony Jones, who approaches his teaching with these running backs as if they are quarterbacks, teaching them the offense at that level so they understand the why. And Coach Jones mentioned that came from when he was at Memphis coaching Tony Pollard, now in the NFL as a running back for the Titans, because Tony needed more knowledge, was a sponge, wanted everything. So it had to change the way that Coach Jones taught the game. Lincoln Riley saying that teaching the running backs that way has been really beneficial because when they see something unexpected, they adapt faster and better.
A touchback from Missouri State. Time now to take you back to Chicago. Dave Revson with a studio update. Dave?
Yeah, Guy, Kirk Ferentz has tied Woody Hayes. 205 wins, the most in Big Ten history. Mark Gronowski, the touchdown run here. Ferentz could pass Woody next week in Ames against rival Iowa State.
And that would be sweet. That is very cool. You think about all the new quarterbacks in this league, and Maeva, not new to the league, played 4 games last year, but new as the primary starter for USC. Gronowski at Iowa, Tim Lester's offense, something everybody's excited to see. And that'll be a fun one next week against Iowa State, of course, started their year in Dublin.
Let's take a look at this touchdown one more time. You can see it from a lot of different views. There's Aaron Dunn. As the play goes on, he's going to have a nice little kick-out block. And he's just going to hang out. He could hear the crowd. And he looks up at the big screen, the Jumbotron, to see the touchdown. I just think it's amazing. He sees it, he pops up, he's going to go celebrate with his teammate eventually on the sideline. A lot of great vantage points here in LA.
Not many people get to watch the video board from the middle of the field. That's pretty cool.
I'll tell you what's pretty cool also, just in addition to King Miller and his story, his uncle is Dr. Dre. And if you live in LA or go to USC, you know Dr. Dre, not just for the music that he's made and produced, but Jimmy Iovine and Andre Dr. Dre Young endowed the USC Jimmy Iovine and Andre Young Academy for Arts, Technology, and the Business of Innovation a few years ago. It was the fall of 2014, a little over a decade ago. Huge news at the time, and now here he's got 2 of his nephews on the team in both King Miller and offensive lineman Kalon Miller.
That's awesome. Tough catch made by Hayden Hagler, the tight end. And that'll bring up less than a yard to go, 4th and very short.
I'll tell you, a guy who I think has had a big impact on this game.
Offense staying out there.
Yeah, here we go. 4th down. Going for it. I like the call. But it's Anthony Lucas, number 6. Again, not great. He's not going to show up in the stat sheet. He hasn't since he's been at SC, but he has made an impact in the pocket. He looks stronger, looks more athletic, and here on a 4th down, I would run away from number 6, another big man in the middle, Jamal Jarrett.
And Missouri State able to pick up the 1st down. USC's going to get Georgia Southern here next week. Georgia Southern, who's playing Fresno State week 1. They're going to stay in California. Clay Helton You're going to bring him down to Southern California, right? And prepare for the return to the Coliseum for the former Trojan coach against Lincoln Riley. You know, for all the talk about offense with Lincoln Riley, it was great to hear him say this week. He told us on Friday, we're teed up. That's the word he used. We're teed up to have a great year on defense this year. And they're not even at full strength here today. Long throw, tough catch made by Dash Luke. He got hit immediately by Marcellus Williams.
Really nice catch by Luke. And I thought Williams, he does a nice job of controlling himself. A lot of times you see either guys hitting him early or a targeting penalty there. Dash Luke gets the better of that. But overall, you can see, to your point of the defense, the functional football intelligence of situations is just much greater than it's been year one, year two, even last year when it took strides in the first year of Dan Lynn running it.
Big run for Shamari Lawrence, and he's got a first down.
I think Lawrence is going to have a year. Honestly, man, he was a great get for them. FIU, South Dakota transfer out of the pistol here, which is so hard to defend. He starts to the left of the quarterback, but then cuts back, and then he shows his athleticism as he leaps over Williams for the first down. And then look, this one got out of hand early in terms of he had to abandon the run game to a certain degree, Guy. But as Missouri State continues on in their season, keep an eye on Conference USA for number 2 to have a big year.
Clark with time, and he throws too high for Askren, and it's third down. Well, there's no doubt, right? You play a game like this, and part of what you walk away with is a very unique experience, hopefully some confidence, and hopefully healthy.
Yeah.
And early on, Missouri State lost one of its best defensive line, Jules Chio. But Jacob Clark has shown some toughness today. He's taken some hits. Second down and 10.
It's fun to watch Braylon Shelby here coming off the edge. The edges thus far in this game have been impressive for the Trojans.
Clark, that's batted up in the air, and it's intercepted. Garrett Pomeranz gets stopped from getting all the way to the end zone by Jacob Clark. Look at him. Pomeranz, the redshirt junior, almost had another for this defense. But what a great catch. What a great play.
Well, how about Kevin Longstreet, the brother of Hassan? He's the one who jumps up and bats the ball. And then Pomeranz, he grabs, he should just trusted his instinct and gone left. I wonder if the official impacted him to go right. And then, to your point, nice job of Jacob Clark preventing the pick six. But Longstreet, great hands, the transfer out of Louisville and A&M. And then Pomeranz, oh, he cuts left. He's got a blocker, guy. He's got a blocker. Oh, and they are going to be celebrating that and also coaching that one up. That could have been another 6 for the Trojans.
That was cool, though.
Yeah. Well, it just, when SC is really good, it comes in waves. And it's been a minute since it's come in waves outside of the skill positions. And you're seeing, to your point on Lincoln Riley, pretty impressive.
This team came in here all business today, Yogi, and it's turned into a party. Hassan Longstreet back in. Flag down. Brian Jackson for a couple. But I know the Trojans got your attention today when they came into this building. They walked down the steps.
Illegal formation. More than 4 players in the back. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Look, I've always felt, and you know this guy from being around SC a lot, in LA, there's an internal reality and an external reality, and oftentimes they clash. Externally, it's you're the man, you're at SC, and part of being at SC the last couple of years has been, you know, what you wore, what your fit was on game day, and I like that idea. That's cool, but it felt like it became so individualized to a certain degree, and this team is trying to unify, trying to connect, and the decision from Lincoln Riley and company say, you know, we're just going to wear the same thing. And I know that it's simple and it's subtle, but it's another example of a team just coming together.
Prince Strawn with another big play. And now he's slow to rise. Brett?
Man, Yogi, you were saying how Hassan Longstreet can just flick it, and when it looks that way, it's different. I'm standing behind him by about 20 yards, and boy, you just see that whip of his arm. He didn't even come out perfectly, but got to the receiver, Strawn, with some pace.
Yeah, we saw him at the Elite 11 this summer. You knew he could flick it here at the end of the third, and I got a feeling he's exciting a lot of people in USC, past, present. It'll eventually be the future here at the Trojans as well.
In 2028, the Olympics are coming to LA, and it'll make the Coliseum the first venue in the world to host the Olympics 3 times. It'll co-host the opening ceremonies and then host track and field. And that is the same torch that was lit in 1934, lit again in 1984, and will be lit for the Olympics in 2028. Part of the tradition here of the 102-year-old LA Memorial Coliseum, lighting the torch before every fourth quarter.
It's such a historic venue, and they all are in the Big Ten, but they all have a different story to them, a different vibe. And here in the Coliseum, it's global, to your point, on the level of the Olympics and many other historical moments that have happened on these grounds.
Oh, little Maava magic with the Longstreet. Did he go? Maava says sidearm. I'll go submarine on that throw. Complete for no gain.
He's so natural of a passer. I mean, he can just flick it to Rhett's point. I mean, that's all arm, right? I mean, he's got really unique ability, and what I love about Hassan Longstreet, guys, that he doesn't have a lot of bad habits. Mechanically, he's really sound, and he just pours into the craft, and now he's able to listen and learn in that room with Luke Heward, who is just a riser in the coaching ranks, Lincoln Riley, and the aforementioned Jaden Maava.
Longstreet, little basketball, and he's able to create. Channeling a little Caleb Williams there. We look back at that injury before the end of the third quarter to Prince Strawn, the transfer 17 for USC from Boise State. He was able to pop up there on the sideline, but you can see a little bothered and limped over towards the bench area.
And what's one common thing we've heard from every coach, whether it's training camp tour with Big Ten Network or throughout the week of prep here, guys, that it's a long season. We're going to need a lot of bodies. So goal number 1 now for the Trojans in this one in the fourth quarter is coming out healthy.
Longstreet looking for the pylon. He's got it. His second rushing touchdown today. The first Trojan to score twice today.
Well, you said a little basketball, right? How about a little lead block, or maybe we'll call it an assist right in front of your living room? King Miller leads the way in the athleticism. Longstreet does a nice job. Another assist from DJ Jordan. Everybody getting involved.
Active day for Ryan Sayuri. First, Jaden Maava pumping everybody up. QB2, Hassan Longstreet having a great debut. Next Saturday, Penn State and Ohio State are in action as part of a huge quadruple header of football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. You see what's going on there? It's from morning till deep into the night.
Can't wait. We're going to get out to State College, see Penn State and Drew Aller. They took care of business. Veteran-laden team, kind of following that script of Michigan and Ohio State. Guys coming back with a purpose and some swag, as you see the swag dance on the sideline for the Trojans as well.
Jaden Mayava leading the way.
Well, you know what's cool is that you see the sideline, everybody's doing it. Right? I go back to the no individuals. Like, I just think that this team has turned the corner, guy. As a culture, as a program. Here come the facilities. Whoa, you heard that one.
Fired up on special teams is that USC coverage unit. Some notable debuts, so to speak. Julian Sainz played, but this is his debut as the starter. Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, the transfer from Cal, and Nico Amaliava later tonight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Julian saying the accuracy, the discernment was so impressive on such a huge stage. Dante Moore, I'm telling you, guy, his arm talent is special. I'd argue it's as good as there is in this league. In all of college football, he put on a efficient and impressive display. Looking forward to them against OK State next week.
Night is done for Jacob Clark. The starting quarterback gives way to Cole Forbacher. USC says they've got the football, and it looks like they do. Might have been Gus Cordova that knocked that out for this defense. And Isaiah Rubin came away with
recovered by the defense. First and 10. USC.
Ball's a little loose. A lot of guys around it. Yep, it's actually the freshman. It's Matai Tagoayi born in Las Vegas, went to St. Clemente. Really talented linebacker. You see right there, ball is just too loose right there for Johnson. But look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Trojans around the ball. Like, those are the little things. Nobody is sitting on the sideline. Everybody's standing up. The celebration, there's the recovery. Nice job from Rubin, the safety. It just feels different, and it should. Look, last year, again, reset, foundational year on the program. New defensive staff. Adjusted the recruiting style. Much more at a high school. Here comes Chad Bowden this year. What they've done in recruiting with him as the GM. The facility is coming. Like, you can just feel the Trojans coming. DJ.
Flag down. DJ Jordan, touchdown. And we'll see if it stands.
I have a feeling there's going to be a hold on the left side there.
Holding for 10 of the offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
It's on Corey Sims, the only Missouri native on this USC team.
True freshman getting his first action. Keep an eye on him. Quick little end around. And at wide receiver, so much when you have these types of perimeter runs, guy, you've got to anticipate where the defender is going. So you want to work a little bit more upfield. You have to be a little bit more in control. He started towards the shoulder, close to the line of scrimmage, and then tried to adjust. Grabbed a little jersey.
Quick throw out to Sims, and he makes the catch.
I love that. I love that. That's purposeful from Lincoln Riley. Said, okay, again, we're going to need everybody. They talked about Corey Sims. He's going to have a role on special teams. As the season progresses, he'll have more of a role as he gets more comfortable in college football. You have an error, an unforced error in the penalty. You come right on back at the young, true freshman, The Rock.
Watching Longstreet flick this ball around, I can only think about what the pre-practice quarterback competitions must be like. He's pointing. He's already run for 2 touchdowns today, but him and Mayava, Sam Heward, who's got a great arm, right? QB3.
Yeah. And there's just little things like that. Like, he could have taken an easy completion on the outside. Decided to hold on to it. Had his sophomore receiver and Zacharias Williams was wide open, but it's just those little things that only game experience can get you. These reps are invaluable for the backup QB, because if you're a QB for Lincoln Riley, you're going to be pretty valuable at a lot of places based on his past success.
And everybody calls you just by your first name, too.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
Baker and Kyler and Caleb. It's part of winning a Heisman. King Miller. So can Mayava
The helmet of number 14 came out during play. He must go out. He went down.
So can Maava develop into, you don't want to use the H word, although you can't not when you're USC's quarterback.
I mean, it was how we started the show here, right? You sign at SC, you're a household name. Hassan Longstreet in college football is a household name. You start, and you are a Heisman candidate. You see it, Carson, Liner. Again, guys that just go by one name, Caleb, right? Like, that's just what it is here at USC. And I think the biggest challenge, and we talked to him about it in training camp, is when you win a job mid-year, you don't ever feel the off-season of expectations. He had to feel the whole off-season, and Lincoln Riley told us yesterday they would meet time and time again and talk about how to navigate those things. And all he has done is pour into his teammates.
33-yarder's good.
Versus making it about himself. And I think that's just the way to go at the most individualized position in all of sports.
Next Saturday, Big Ten Tailgate is live from Penn State with all the pregame festivities in Happy Valley. Then countdown to kickoff brings you the latest from around the conference right before the action begins. It all starts next Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. A dominant USC night so far. The Missouri State Bears won the toss, took the ball, scored 3, and USC's barely stopped scoring since. Of course, the game that captivated everybody from wake up today was number 3, number 1. Ohio State beats Texas, 7th all-time win against the AP number 1 team, including Bulls, and the 6th straight win against AP top 5 teams. That is crazy, tying the longest streak in Big Ten history.
I mean, you said captured from wake up. How about from the end of the season?
Yeah.
You knew it was on the schedule after that game that they had in the semifinals. I'm just going to give a game ball to Matt Patricia. They held Texas to 1 of 5 on 4th down, including a stop at the 1-yard line to kick off the 3rd quarter. I mean, twice inside the 10. Transition from the NFL. It used to be a narrative that's hard because of the hashes, and it's just a different game. Oh.
For Barker, throws
that's 100% a flag. I'm sorry. Offensive line way too far down the field.
And the flag is out.
Yeah, that's going to be a penalty, I think, on Mark Hutchinson.
Ineligible player
72.
downfield, number 76 for the offense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Well, we had a great time talking to him when we were there for the Ohio State spring game, getting ready. And, he wasn't focused on this game, even though it was hard for us not to be thinking about it. And I know you had your, everyone's locked in on that game, but for you, as somebody who used to, grind over the play sheets with Steve Sarkisian here at USC, and then having the relationships you have at Ohio State now, that was a fun one.
Yeah, it really was. I just love the idea of Arch Manning. It wasn't perfect, but he's going to grow and learn from that. And Julian saying, he's sitting last year. There was so much hype around him. Will Howard came in. He sat
First
and
time
learned.
out of the house.
I just love that concept, man, of like sit and learn. Here we are watching
30 seconds.
Freshman and Hassan Longstreet get to sit and learn, get some time in some of these games, prepare yourself. And that was the epicenter of college football today, and it set reverberations across the country. In the SEC and the Big Ten and Ohio State, I mean, they made a statement. With all they lost, that defense, they lost their whole defensive front. They looked awesome. And Kenyatta Jackson left the game. So let the narratives begin, because they are true. Ohio State, I guess it's just traditional Ohio State hype, right? Like last year was crazy hype because of all the returners, kind of like Penn State maybe this year. But man, when those two face off, that'll be another epicenter.
What did Urban Meyer say today? Good news, you won the national championship. Bad news, you won the national championship.
Yeah.
Nothing changes. Poor Barker keeps his feet. They gets knocked out of bounds. Well, and under 10 minutes to go now in the 4th quarter. SC will open Big Ten play in 2 weeks at Purdue. And Purdue, game 1 for Barry Odom today, looked really good. Remember Barry Odom, Jaden Maava, he turned that thing around at UNLV quick.
Cue the game film from back in the day at UNLV. That'll be an incredible storyline to track, especially the defensive-minded approach Coach Odom has with his rich history.
Another flag down. Will Jakeem Stewart be back? When will he be back? That's one of the big questions. #1 D-line recruit in the nation, who reclassified into this year. It's supposed to be a high school
Illegal
senior.
shift. Offense. Penalties decline. 3rd down.
And there is Jakeem on the sideline. Rhett, I know you had a chance to talk to him before the game.
Well, Guy, you were mentioning that, how good this performance has been for the USC defense, and still they have a bunch of big absences, one being Jakeem Stewart, the true freshman defensive lineman, #1 D lineman in the country, went to Edna Carr High School in New Orleans, by the way, same high school as his D-tackle coach, D-line coach Eric Henderson, who, we talked about earlier. Oh, what a catch. My goodness, one hand, but going to be well short of the first down.
And now Connor Lair is down.
Yeah, we're going to check on him. But, guys, with Jakeem Stewart, he's going to benefit from Coach Henderson, not just because of the way he's detailed in his teaching, but because of the pedigree he comes in with, having coached Aaron Donald in the NFL. And Donald is a resource for these USC defensive linemen. In fact, had Jakeem Stewart over to his house to work out. And those workouts are the thing of legend in the NFL, even after he's retired. Remember Jared Verse, the Rams' first-round pick, could barely hang on. But Jakeem Stewart showed up at Aaron Donald's house, and Aaron Donald told me Jakeem left crawling out the front door, but he finished the workout. And he told AD he would come back the next day, which Aaron said a lot of guys say they're coming back the next day. Not many actually do. Jakeem actually did show up the next day. And then Aaron said, I whooped his butt again, sent him home crawling out the front door, but he finished. So I asked Jakeem Stewart about that on the sideline earlier today, and he was like, yeah, I couldn't straighten my arms for a full week. But when Jared Verse told me that he had the same reaction to the workout, I felt a little bit better about it.
Can you just imagine for a second? He's supposed to be a high school senior. He reclassified, still the #1 player on the defensive line in America in recruiting. But you're working out with legitimate, like all-time great defensive linemen.
That's going to be Missouri State ball.
Yeah, that's a miss from Zachariah Williams.
Zacharias Williams think it hit a teammate?
It looked like it did from up here.
Let's see. Yeah, Yogi, he was not going to chase after it, and then he thought it.
But he had a chance to get it, and then a really nice play from #3. I think it's Khalil Anderson. A tackle in the hands of Williams.
Kicking team at this spot. 1st and 10.
Oh,
USC.
hold on a second. Did that hit Missouri State? And so if it hits Missouri State first, USC the return team gets a free pass at trying to recover the ball. And so it is USC ball because it hit Missouri State first. Once it hits the punting team, you can pick it up, you can commit a penalty, you can fumble it again, and it's still yours.
That's a great shot by our crew there. From the angle of the returner, you're thinking, oh, this is a mistake on USC. Let's take a look at it again. Who does it hit? Here's the ball.
Hits
drop.
Thomas Anderson and White on the shoulder.
Yep. Wow. And then a heads-up play, really heads-up play from Williams.
He might be saying, I know the rule.
Yeah.
And I get a freebie.
Well, they work so much situational football here. Special teams, Ryan Doherty, they're really running that unit. Lincoln Riley giving them all the time to make sure they're prepared on the situations that may arise.
Good job by the officials, too, in real time, getting that straightened out here as we tick under 8.5 minutes to go. But it's amazing, right? You mentioned it, and just going to go back to Rhett talking about Jakeem Stewart. It's always a long year. But now with the expanded playoff, it could be a really long year into 2026, right? It can be a long year through December. Winning this league it's a gauntlet in and of itself. You don't necessarily have to win it, of course, to go to the college football playoff or even finish second, but a long year really takes on new meaning in the playoff era.
Well, 16 games. I think what we saw last year in college football were the first time really ever snap counts began to decrease. Huddling began to increase. Remember when huddling was like, oh my God, we saw a team huddle. We haven't seen that forever. Under center, you're watching teams front load the idea of we got to stay healthy. We have to stay fresh. It's a long season. And that is something that Ohio State nailed last year, having to play the amount of games they did in their run to the national championship. I mean, you can play up to 16 games now, pending where you're seated in your postseason.
Longstreet, flag down, takes a couple of hits. Oh, mouth guard goes flying. He pops up. He is not shying away from contact.
Yeah, I thought we might get a hold, but we also might get hands to the face. A lot of action there in the trenches, and then you'll see the hit here.
Personal foul.
There goes the
Illegal
foul.
hands to face. Number 99 of the defense. This 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the play. Number 68 may remain in the game as his helmet came off as a result of the foul.
Yeah, that's Jaden Streeter just battling in the hand fight. That's the right call. Hands to the face there on Williams.
Brian Beard's group will go to Marshall next week, and then their first home game will be against SMU in a couple. Longstreet gets it out quickly to Brian Jackson. Bring up second down and 10.
You know, we talked to Coach Beard earlier this week, and he told us what he said to all of the media back on campus, which is there's going to be more eyeballs, you could argue, on us in this game than in the history of the program. And I think when you're looking at the score, of course, I get it, it's not anywhere near what Missouri State was hoping for. They were hoping for an upset here. But when you look at the health of this place since they arrived, he said when he got on campus, just as the defensive coordinator, guys weren't wearing gear. It wasn't necessarily a team that had connectivity, cohesion, trust, pride in everything they do. And now he's got this roster right, and they are taking a big leap up. I'm looking forward to tracking this team under his leadership.
Zacharias Williams gets the first down. I thought it was really interesting to hear what he said. He said, look, we're at the FBS level now, but we understand bigger programs are going to be able, with NIL money, to come in and maybe take a player who's had a good year or two for us. We can't be afraid of that. We have to embrace the fact that our job is to develop guys and give them the reason to stay. And that's the way this thing works now. And if they go off, then we got to find another and develop again. I thought it was a really interesting insight from a guy going, we cannot be afraid of the realities of the level we just joined. So first down and 10 now for the Trojans, who can pick up another first down. Knocking on 70's door.
Nice tackle there from Kanye Young. He's a captain on this team. He's also a California native. Ran into fans of him, friends of him, family of him in advance of this game. And for him, this game means a lot. This is a young man who dreamt of playing here at the Coliseum. Huge USC fan. His father used to take him to games, Norman. His mother, Adrena. They love this place. They love the opportunity to come play here. There's the family right there. Sadly, in 2020, he lost his father, Norm. And he knows that he's watching here as well. His son's team is on the losing end of this game. And another nice touchdown by the Trojans, Carson Tabaracci. I know that for this family, it means so much more than just the final outcome.
Tabaracci's first career touchdown as a Trojan.
It's a nice job of this tight end group. Great job of, again, they're moving offensive linemen. There's so much action. And for a tight end, you have to be disciplined. You can't flash early. You have to act like it's run and then pop late. I don't know who's going to get the game ball today, guy, but maybe that's the point. Maybe that's where USC is right now. Everybody's got one. No eyes, all connected. Everybody's getting the touchdown. Big night here at the College.
The final drive recaps the entire day around the conference tonight after football, only on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73. Oh, I started too high. 73 points today, most in a game since 2005. the third Big Ten team to score 70 since 2020. The last time it happened, September 17, 2005, against Arkansas. And Yogi Roth was not wearing a suit that day because he was wearing a USC polo on the sideline.
Up in the press box, actually, sitting next to Lane.
Coaching headset on.
Yep.
Okay.
And I can remember this place was rocking. Arkansas, Houston, nothing. The SEC, they were coming in to make some noise. And Matt Leinart, Reggie Bush, Lendell White. Remember Feed the Studs? That was like the definition of feeding those studs. It was a rout.
Oh. Well, there is one of the studs tonight. Jade Mayava, the studs of the future. USC will be inside of this beautiful building, the Bloom Football Performance Center, which is expected to open next summer. $200 million and under construction right now as we walk by it. It is going to be absolutely gorgeous. A couple of practice fields, outdoor, one turf, one grass, full length. I mean, you just see the renderings here. Everything that'll be inside of there. That room, you kind of follow the VR video and practice virtually. Just incredible.
Just to put some context in it, Lincoln Riley told us last week, their current facility, they could fit 7 of those in the new facility. And I just go back to, you know, and I get it. Here at SC, as we see a little run bounce to the outside guy. I get it. The expectations are as high as they are in Columbus, as high as they are in Ann Arbor, and they should be. Totally understand that. But last year was a reset. It was a foundational year in year 3 under Lincoln Riley. Year 1 was lightning in a bottle. Year 2, they were trying to double down on that. Missed in the portal. He's referenced that. Last year, reset the defensive staff, reset the culture, reset the program. Now they've added a GM and a real front office with Chad Bowden. They have a facility that is legit. I mean, forever, for 20 years, SC has been behind in facilities. They have never had what other programs have around the country. Now they're going to have pretty much everything that you possibly can imagine once next season and beyond gets here, including another stellar recruiting class. So I just tell Trojan fans, like, last year I know it wasn't good enough, but all those games were so tight. See some of the details of the Bloom Football Performance Center. This year, you can already tell, like, it's a cleaner operation. It's much more talent on the offense and defensive lines. If they can stay healthy, they'll have a chance to make real noise. And then next year, like, you just see the inertia coming here in Southern California.
Well, it has been 20. I mean, we talk about 2005 and that team that you were a part of on the coaching staff, Yogi. That, you know, for a moment it looked like maybe the greatest college football team ever, right? Texas, Ohio State, they're all in assembly, as Keith Jackson said before that Rose Bowl. And, you know, that was 25 years. Pete Carroll came in, 25 years since SC had won a title. In 2003, they won a title. Here we are 20 years since SC's last title again. And, you know, it seems like sometimes in its history, USC has gone through these cycles of how can they ever be stopped, and then how can they ever get back there again? And it does feel like, talking to Lincoln Riley, as he said to us on Friday, I think it's about to get fun around here.
Yeah.
For the fans.
Yeah, I would agree. It was just, they had to turn over so much. Then they entered the Big Ten. Just an alter their style of play, style of recruiting. And also, you just look at the growth. Lincoln Riley's still a really young head coach. So it has been fun to watch this thing, and you're right. I think it's coming here in LA, and he's been saying it. He's smiling here, and not only is that because of what's happened tonight, I think it's also because he knows. He knows what's coming. Looking forward to watching this thing play at the standard that he knows this place has set.
So much legacy, so much history. And they help find number 12. 2-minute timeout on this SoCal Saturday night.
Dave Refson, Howard Griffith with you. USC, most points in a game, Howard, since 1930.
Basketball scores they're putting up right now. Fans got to be feeling pretty good about what's going on out there in SoCal right now. I don't care about the opponent. I just care about them going out and doing stuff like this. Yeah. Really need to gain that confidence.
No doubt, lots to like. Jed Fish and the Huskies.
Hello, Jed.
Hoping to emulate that as he starts year number 2 Colorado State coming up. 23 minutes, guys.
73-13 as we hit the 2-minute timeout here in the fourth quarter.
Tell you what's great about this part of the game for USC. You got a home game. It's gone through a month of training camp, and everybody's playing.
Right.
You know, you don't have many of these moments, especially in conference play.
That ball broken up and still caught. A very active day for this USC defense.
Nice job. Just look at the eyes of the defenders right there. Looking at the quarterback the whole time. That's Garrison Madden. You know, whether it's Garrison Madden, Braylon Shelby, these guys are also really impressive in the classroom. We had a chance to attend a class earlier this week at SC as well when we were here for practice. And so many of these guys are pouring in academically. Jeff Fellinger's class guy, one of the best classes on the USC campus, bringing in guests from all over the sporting world. Garrison Madden, Braylon Shelby telling us they're loving that part of their USC experience.
Jade Mayab, a great day today. 2 quarters of football. Just about everything went right for him.
Yeah, I think most importantly, it was his confidence in command. I mean, you could feel it from warm-ups. Went up to him and said, hey, good luck today. He goes, oh yeah, we got it. And he did. Whether it was early on in the ball game, sitting in the pocket, delivering right there to Mackay, Lemon, understanding where blitzers are coming from with Lake McCree and a big explosive touchdown, utilizing his eyes and his legs in the zone read game. I mean, he just had complete mastery. And he showcased the growth from the 4 starts a year ago, an entire offseason as the guy. Did not feel tight at all. Felt completely in control. Veteran captain that he is. Tell you what, he goes 15 of 18 and ain't a drop. I think most in a half by an SC quarterback since Keaton Slovis. And then that man right there, Hassan Longstreet. You know, when you're a freshman, you dream about playing here. Come here for a couple scrimmages, spring, fall, you see him right there next to Sam Heward. It's a really healthy quarterback room led by Luke Heward, the OC quarterback coach.
Vorbacher taking this one to the sideline. These USC defenders, man, they play all the way to that sideline.
Yeah, and what my favorite part, and again, this is like a little thing, no one's sitting down. The entire team is standing up. And you talked about back in the day, 2005, and I know those that are listening, whether it's Mark Sanchez or Matt Leinart, that's what it was in the sideline. Everybody was engaged. And I just go back to them walking through the Peristyle Inn, everybody wearing the same gear. Like you just felt, yeah, exactly, guys in it. There's Jakeem Stewart. Yep. Like guys are in it, and that is a sign how players celebrate after a touchdown, what they're like late in the game. Nobody's thinking about what they're going to do post-game. They are connected to the moment, and you got to credit Lincoln Riley and his staff. Again, it's reset a year ago, and that's why I think this thing is turning the corner. I don't know if they'll be ranked, because who knows what the AP voters may think after this blowout win. But they are one of the top 25 teams in America, folks. Make no mistake about it.
Still ahead. Huge day continues. Washington takes on Colorado State under the lights right here on the Big Ten Network and the Fox Sports app. USC was ranked 30th in the preseason poll, so they're close. They're right on the verge. I don't know if today does it, but I know what's not the case. Lincoln Riley's going to talk to Rhett Lewis after the game. Jade Mayab is going to talk to Rhett Lewis after the game. You can watch those interviews coming up on the studio game break when we're done here, and they're not going to be concerned about any of that. Meanwhile, here is Sam Heward, Seattle native who started it all at the University of Washington. Hands off here to close this out. The clock hits zeros, and the day is done. 73 points put up by the Trojans in the opener.
Well, you got to feel good if you're Lincoln Riley. Got out relatively healthy, we think. But most importantly, they looked the part. They played mature.